Alright, so this is my latest project here. I know some of you guys have been wondering when I'm going to get around to this. Who am I kidding? No one's asked about this project. But here it is anyway. So let me give you guys a walk around of this car that I've had for the last, 30 years. And let me know what you guys think. Alright, so this is a 1972 Corvette. Originally had a 350 with an automatic, but I put a 4-speed in here as soon as I could. I had a 4-speed automatic 700 R4 like what I have in the Suburban, but I fried the overdrive racing a 66 or 67 GTO, and found this other guy with a Vette that had a 4-speed, and he wanted the 700, so we traded. Yeah. The old Muncie needed synchros and stuff like that, but I thought it was a pretty good deal. Fried the clutch pretty quick though afterwards. You can see a little bit of fiberglass work here on the edges. Some of these cars get really bad rust down underneath here. And so this was fixed once by a local repair shop. A repair shop that has been on cable TV for overhauling. And I had to redo it. And so anyway, that's that. Let's look and well, got an LT1 hood on this car. It is not an LT1 car, but I've always liked the kind of the stealth look of the flat hood. As opposed to the LS6 hood. And this is what we have to work with. The 350 is now long gone. I had a Pro Charger on the side of it for probably about a year, making about 10 pounds of boost through a blow-through 650 Holly. And then one day I just lost all oil pressure at idle, and I wound up selling it off along with the transmission, knowing that I was going to be doing a LS swap down the road. So yeah, I said it. It's going to be an LS swap. Gosh, that was a long time ago. That's probably been 10 years now. Alright. Still running the original inky 15-inch rims on there for now. They're a replica of the what were the Gotti rims that were popular on the Porsches back in the 80s. Got some of the old 305 Euro TAs on the back. I put those on, trying to get a little bit of traction when I raced that Super Chevy back when I was in school. But like I said, for the most part, the bodywork's in pretty good shape. Got Mustang GT seats in here. I like these seats a lot. Not sure if I'm going to keep them or if they're going to go. Like I said, at this point, money's a big issue. So we'll have to see what we can do. So this will be a build on a shoestring. Might be hitting the junkyards. We'll have to see how this goes. So anyway, let me guys know what you think. Throw in some ideas. You know, I'm thinking maybe a 7,000 RPM 4.8 with LSA blower and a 6-speed. But yeah, who knows? We'll do something special with this suspension. I was thinking about building a custom frame. Maybe running the exhaust through the frame so I can get this car more low to the ground. I like to have about 4 inches of clearance. Late model suspension front and back. Maybe from a Camaro SS, simply because I might be able to use the IRS for the back. I'm not opposed to fender flares, but yeah, I'm thinking big wheels all around, 335s on 17s or 18s, maybe a 19-inch wheel in the back, and I like to run about a 295 up front. That'd be sweet. Maybe some custom air dam work. If any of you guys have seen the green Mamba in Super Chevy, something like that maybe. But like I said, it's got to be a budget build. So you guys let me know what you think, and we'll be in touch. All right, so I went ahead and pulled the coil springs out of the front and unbolted the leaf spring from the back, and I dropped it down. Right now, this Corvette is sitting 4.5 inches off the concrete. That's the main frame rail. That's not this transmission cross member, which hangs down an extra 1.5 inches or so. My goal with this project is to get a flat bottom on this Corvette, kind of like the way my Viper is set up. So I'll be raising this cross member, but I'm trying to get it pretty low. I mean, 4.5, I don't know, what do you think? I'm thinking I may need to come down a little bit more to get that real slammed stance. So maybe 3.5, 4, I don't know, maybe 3.5 would be pretty cool. That'd be a 2x4, on edge. I can still get my Harbor Freight jack underneath it at 3.5 inches. So maybe I'll drop it another inch or so from there. But I'm already hitting on my 305 50 series tires back here, so I can't really do it with these wheels on. So I'm starting to look around Craigslist, trying to look for maybe some Camaro 20-inch rims to put on here temporarily. I'd like to go 20s, I think, on this car all around. I know on my Jeep SRT, I'm running a 20 by 315 in the back and a 20 with a 275 up front, and I think that's a pretty good size combination. So that might be a good target width. I need to see what other tires are available. It'd be pretty cool if I could run a 315 in the front. That would be sick. But yeah, I want to keep this car semi-streetable, so if it's too hard to find tires, I don't want to mess with it. I guess the next thing I do is maybe pull the body off so I can look at that frame a little bit closer. Body's up to come off anyway, so let's get the WD-40 and start spraying some body mounts. Alright, there's one of the body bolts right there. So let's do the other side. And there's a couple in the back. Alright, I've already went through the engine compartment and squirted pretty much every rusty bolt I could find. So let's give that a few minutes to set, and we'll start cranking. Let's bust some nuts. I've never done this before. I've never pulled the body off this vet. This was kind of a halfway redo for me when I was in college. I haven't touched this car since 2002, I think is when I sold off the engine and transmission. Alright. Here we go, got a 5/8 inch rim on top. unknown wrench on the bottom. Let's see, what, 11/16, I guess. Hey, it's turning. I'm not sure how this one's gonna work. Can't really see the nut on that one, so let me just put a 5/8 socket on it and see what happens. I would be surprised if it's a captured nut, but you never know. Oh, sweet. No, I don't think that nut is captured, so there's got to be a way to reach the nut from inside somewhere. So let me grab my shop light and look around a little bit. Well, it looks like there might be access to that back body mount nut through the back end here. I've got a couple of speaker enclosures wedged in these back corners here that I'm going to have to get out. But to do that, I need to remove the packing tray first. That's the little tray that drops down. So when you remove the back window, it'll slide in there. That's what's so neat about these old C3 Corvettes is when you take the window out and the T-top's off, it's like a true Targa. Airflow goes right through. It's pretty nice. So, I'm not going to bore you guys with that. I want to stop filming and then see how I do. Alright. Nasty old speaker boxes. Whew. There is a big freaking captured nut, big square nut on the inside of the car here. So I'm gonna pull out the WD-40, shoot it again, let it soak for a while, and then come back. All right, well, let those bolts soak for about half an hour. Let's see if they come loose. Oh, they're moving. Oh, excellent. Noisy. Whew. 45 years of rust coming out. Alright, so This is part of that caged nut apparatus that is back there for the rear body mount. As you can see, this thing is rusted to hell. And the nut inside is spinning. I want to try to put some vice grips on that nut. If that doesn't work, I'll have to cut the bolt. Fun. Fun times. I need to get some gloves. Those parts are hurting. Whew. All right, well, I got one off. So I'm just gonna show you guys what I'm up to here. Sorry for the noise. All right, well, okay, come on, focus. Focus. Right there. All right, that's that little, the bolt that I cut the head off of. So now when I lift the body off, this bolt will slide out of that opening with the body, and then I'll have to deal with it from inside the fiberglass. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Probably chisel away or cut away or do something, but I've got the seats and everything inside right now. I don't want to mess with it. It's just some other day. Some other day. So now I got to do the right rear body mount the same way. Excuse me. All right, looking around. That front body mount came out easy. No problem there. So what else do we need to remove to get this body off the frame? Fuel lines are loose. That shouldn't be an issue. No transmission. Let's see here. Radiator. Is that attached to the frame? I don't know. Won't take too much to get that radiator out, just a few bolts. So maybe I should pull that out and have a closer look, just to be sure. Alright, so there were no bolts on the bottom, just the 4 on top. And here comes the old radiator and stay. There we go. Cut. Alright, well, I'm still trying to get this bumper off all the supports and everything. You got these bumper horns and things that all tend to bolt to the main frame. A couple of them have welded nuts on the back, but 2 of them don't, so I'm having to get out my old vice grips as a substitute for my helper and to hold the back side while I get these off. But yeah, I got 4 bolts here, 4 bolts underneath, I think 4 bolts on the far side, and I think that'll loosen up the bumper and fiberglass from the frame. So give me a little bit more time. Let's see how this goes. Brakes. I almost forgot to disconnect the brakes. Body can't come off if the brake's still attached. So I'm just gonna pull them loose at the master cylinder. Easier said than done. I'll probably be replacing all these brake lines with stainless steel lines or something, who knows. There we go. Whew. There might be a little rust in these lines. Oh, shoot, yeah. That's gonna be a trouble. Alright, come on. Ah, there we go. Not a problem. Let's try this back one again. And the parking brake. I need to do the parking brake as well. Alright. Okay, so the parking brake is disconnected. I just unscrewed the adjuster tab. There's a little pulley wheel that I removed to slide the cable through, so the parking brake cable should come up for the body now. Alright, so haven't pulled the body off yet. I still need to disconnect the steering column from the steering gearbox, but I went ahead and decided to go ahead and figure out a way I can roll this thing around without the springs being attached. What I did, I marked these shocks where they're compressed at 4.5 inch ride height. So I'm just going to sand off a little bit of this paint, and I am going to weld these two shock halves together, and that will act as a rod to solidly mount the suspension, and we'll do it on each of the four corners. So I'm going to roll this thing around if I have to, because like right now we're dependent on the wood blocks, and we don't want that. I'm going to make it so I can cut this off later on in case I want to drop it to a 3.5 inch ride height. Don't know if that's going to be necessary or not, but anyway, we'll start at 4.5 and we'll go from there. Alright, well there we go. Look at that. The gas may be gone, but there's still plenty of shock oil in there. So you gotta watch out for that stuff catching on fire. I'm assuming it's flammable. But there you go. One down and 3 to go. Alright guys, so I mocked up a couple of 18-inch tires here. That's all I had. The front is a 295/30/18, and the rear is a 345/30/18. Oh, dude, some serious tire. Now I'd like to do 20s, and the size I'm interested in is a 345/30/20. So the 20s will be exactly 2 inches taller than both of these. So I need to take that into account when I flare the wheel wells. Look at this mess. I got the old wheels back on there. Took the 18s off for now. Yeah, we're getting things done. I had forgotten a couple of body mounts. There's a body mount right back here that needs to be undone, besides the one that's up on top here. Okay, so you got 1, 2. There is a third in the kick panel inside. I don't know if I can show you over there. There you go, that kick panel down there, both sides. There's a third one there. And then of course the fourth body mount is behind the grill. Okay, so all those body mounts are off. I already had the front bumper off, so all I did was remove the front bumper support, and that should free up the front end. Look at some of these nasty cracks. Dude, all that's gonna get fixed. On the inside, you guys can see this is kind of dark. All I did was just disconnect the steering rag joint. Okay, I'm looking around for grounds and things like that. I think I got it all. You do have to disconnect the parking brake cable, and I did that from underneath. Oh boy, you can't see this at all. Alright, there we go, that's better. Now you can see the parking brake is disconnected, as well as those two bolts that hold the seat belt in. Those seat belts are secured to the frame itself, the center section, so you gotta undo those two bolts, or else you're gonna get stuck when you lift things up. The battery ground was twisted off when I moved this Corvette over to my new house, so that's not an issue. And in the back, yeah, all this bumper support stuff have to come out. Bumpers are, of course, tied into your frame, so you got to remove the rear bumpers. Gas tank can stay, that's not a problem. I got the spare tire and the carrier out. Sorry for the blinding light there. Let's see, fuel pump, fuel filter can stay. But yeah, this thing is ready to come up. So, stay tuned for my next video. Subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like. Thanks.